Hi everyone, hope you're having an awesome day. I wanted to make a little video to explain what we're going to be doing today. It's a measuring activity using fractions. It's called inch by inch. Good time, but you have to know how to measure. And just like we talked about yesterday, fractions and measuring go hand in hand. So you have to know how to read a ruler correctly. So that's what we're going to do first in this video, and then Mrs. Gieske will lead you through the rest of the activity. So you should have a ruler you need and a yellow inch by inch packet with a whole bunch of rulers on it, and the questions to finish are your homework later today. But right now I just need you to take a look at your ruler. If you notice, one side centimeters obviously and one side is inches. We are using the side where we're looking at the 12 inches. If you look closely, from the beginning of the ruler to the 1, I want you to count how many little lines are, with the first little line being 0, and then 1, 2, 3. Count how many lines are between that first one and that 1. Okay, hopefully you're fast counters. If you counted correctly and you started with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, you would come up with a total of 16 lines. So if I measured something to this first little line, it would be 1/16 of an inch. The second one would be 2/16, 3/16, and so on. So the whole at number 1 inch, would be 16/16 of an inch. So we break all our inches into 16 parts. So today when you're measuring, you're going to round everything to the nearest 16th of an inch. So now you can put that ruler aside for now. You will be measuring some things later, so just set that aside and take out the yellow packet. We are going to fill in some things on this top ruler, only the top ruler. I'm going to fill in from 0 to 1, and I want you to copy that down with me, and that will help you complete the rest of finding the measurements on the rest of the rulers, and use that for help if you need it on homework to review the measurements of the whole ruler. So take that out and take a look at the very top ruler. Okay, looking at that ruler, mine's zoomed in, yours is a little bit smaller, but do the best you can to write neatly and to label all these lines. Across the top, remember we said from 0 to 1 there are 16 lines. So every little line here is a 16. So this first line, if I measured something to right here, it would be 1/16 of an inch. If I went to the second one, it would be 2/16. And 3/16 would be the next one. Now, like something like 2/16 can be simplified, and you'll notice that this line is a little bit longer than the other ones around it. 2/16 simplifies to 1/8. So the second longest lines here are all going to be eighths. This would be 1/8, this would be 2/8, which we'll simplify later, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8. So you can see that. This line here would be 4/16. Again, we can simplify that to 1/4, and you'll notice that one's a little bit longer than my 1/8. Then I have 5/16, 6/16, which we notice 6/16 I can divide both by 2, and I would get 3/8. Then I have 7/16, 8/16. 8/16, you notice this is the longest line other than my 0 and my 1. That means that if you simplify that, I would have 1/2. Keeping on, I have 9/16, and then I'd have 10/16, which I know I can simplify down and get 5/8. Then I go 11/16, 12/16, which again I can simplify that to 3/4, which would also be the same as 6/8. If I lived 5/8, this is also the same as 6/8, just 3/4 in simplest form. Then I go on 13/16, 14/16, which again I can look at and have 7/8, and then I'd have 15/16 and 16/16, which is simplified to 1. So sometimes you can see the second longest lines here, I'm sorry, the second shortest ones. These are the eighths, so I'd have 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, all the way up to 1 would be 8/8 or 16/16. The fourth, I have a fourth, this would be 2/4, which is also 1/2. This is 3/4, this would be 4/4. Again, just simplifying. And then the longest line in the middle right here represents 1/2. Today, as we're measuring, we are going to measure everything to the nearest 16th. So if something came right here, we would have 11/16 of an inch. We're going everything to the nearest 16th, so to the nearest little line that it's at. And then make sure if you said, oh, it's at the 12/16 mark, that you simplify that to 3/4. So on that ruler, on that top ruler, there's an arrow pointing And you can see it's at this line right here, and so it would be 1/2 inch. Okay, so looking at the first two examples I'll do with you. The first example, number one, we're looking at the ruler below it here, and the arrow is pointed right here at this line. Well, if you're not sure, I know I'm between 2 and 3, so I'm going to have 2 and something, so my whole number I know will be 2. I know that here's 1/2, because it's that longest line between 2 and 3, so I'd have 2.5. If you're not sure, no, that's 8/16, so I have 9/16, 10/16, 11/16. This would be 12/16. Now, you can either know that, and you could simplify it to 3/4, or you could look, oh, it's halfway between 1/2 and 3. So if you look close, I would have 2 and 3/4 inches. For the first one, I know it's not quite 1, so I'm not going to have a whole number in between. And I look at the first line, second line, so I am at 2/16, which if I simplify it down would be 1/8 of an inch. You are going to go ahead and complete the rest of the packet. Mrs. Giesky will help you do that, and then she will lead you through the rest of the activity. Make sure you complete the questions on the back for any homework if you don't finish it, and then we will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.